welcome to episode 4 of Sportsaholic. I'm here with Jake. We have Mitch. Take it off now.
Okay, fine. Spoiler alert, guys. I'm the killer.
Whatever you take on or off, leave it. Put it back on too if you want. Anyway, we have big show, World Series Game 1, Rangers recap. We can talk some movies. Have a little trivia, new little concept, weekly trivia question based around either a movie or sports, maybe both. Talk a little bit about the Jet game because God, they're awful. And anything you actually want to introduce yourself with, Jake?
Yeah, sure, for sure. So,
Welcome
again,
back, by the way.
thank you very much for having me. I'm Jake, aka Ghostface, and pretty much just what Pete said. I'm glad to be here once again, talk about sports, movies, anything else that may come up, and yeah, that's mainly it. Let's kick it off.
All right. So, we'll go first. This bad boy right here. Another article. Proud of my boy, written in.
Appreciate you, my man.
First time reading it, let's preview what it was about. I'm going to talk about the movie in it.
So I actually have 3 articles in there, but we'll take it step by step. Yeah, thankfully 2 of mine are on the same page.
So. If you can tell, I don't know how to read the paper.
All right,
okay.
So
here we go. We'll go with a small topic. We'll talk a couple minutes about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
I have one pressing question.
Go for it.
Did Ozzy eat another bet?
Sadly, no. Though I am suspicious of where he was in March of 2020. I have to say that. But,
yeah. So anyway, I had to bring that in for the joke. Now we'll go to the real newspaper, or the real article that I want to talk about. John Carpenter's Halloween movie review. You incorporated the best quote. The blackest eyes.
The devil's eyes. Yeah, I mentioned this in the towards the end of the review. It's so hard to believe. I recently found this out actually that Donald Pleasance, as Dr. Loomis, was almost not hired for the role. They had like 5 or 6 other guys they were looking at.
It's crazy.
It's kind of funny too. Like people like my dad, who actually saw the original Halloween when it came out. He was a little younger than me. He didn't know him as Dr. Loomis at the time. At the time, he knew him as Dr. No, a different doctor from one of the James Bond movies. I think the first one, which, fun fact, was actually the inspiration for Dr. Evil in Austin Powers. $1 billion. But anyway, so for him, it was like such a shift, seeing him, as like this crazed psychiatrist who ends up being right. And he's like just one out of the 3, components that make the movie work. The other being Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, who I also that was her film debut actually. She, in my opinion, and in the opinions of many other horror fans, really helped pave the way for the final girl trope in horror movies. And for those who don't know what that is, it's basically the last surviving female character of the movie, and they confront and often defeat the killer. And in my opinion, Laurie, possibly tied with Sidney Prescott from Scream, is the best final girl in horror history, for sure.
Hello, Sydney.
What's your favorite scary movie? So, yeah, and that's kind of another good debate, too. Like, what's better, Halloween or Scream? I say I like Michael Myers better, but Scream is a better horror franchise.
So before we move on from movies to sports, it's a trivia question. Don't answer it, Jake. I know you're going to want to answer it. So the first movie question, something that correlates to Jake's favorite movie. What's the name of the skyscraper in Die Hard? And you can answer that at the end of. We'll answer it at the end of the show.
I got to get this guy to get to me because I so badly want to say it.
But Jake wants to say it so bad. But we'll answer it after the segment. Let's continue a little bit more movies.
Okay.
So, Jake, there's the question still remains. What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, in all actuality, which is why I wrote it for the paper, it's definitely Halloween. Like, sure, it's a bit of a cliche because Halloween, but it's it's just in my opinion, it's the best slasher. It doesn't. I know I'm going back into Halloween, but yeah, so I'm answering. It's what's great about it is it doesn't rely on like over the top violence and gore to scare people effectively. It's a psycho thriller essentially. Like, and the sequels that followed, like Halloween 2, for instance, I still think is very good. That really took more after Friday the 13th, where it kind of prioritized, gore over a lot of the subtle
Yeah.
scares. Fun fact about Halloween 2, John Carpenter actually wrote that movie with a six-pack of beer next to him. He really did not wanna write it, but considering that, I actually think it came out good. It went to take that into consideration, but, yeah, and that's what was really good and effective about Halloween. In fact, I think of the whole movie, I believe I wrote this in the paper, there's only, like, 5 deaths, which by slasher standards is very low.
Slasher standards are slow.
Yeah.
For 1970s, it's kind of high.
Yeah, for sure. Even, like, other slasher movies of that era, like, a few years before that was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Um, that movie, like, it's been a little bit since I've seen it, but that movie doesn't like, the first half is actually very slow.
I can't watch the movie, it's too boring.
Yeah, like, I actually like it. I'm probably in the minority in this. I actually like the remake of that movie a little better than the original,
Yeah.
but,
Mm.
yeah, I recently caught some of that on Fear Fest AMC. I'm trying to catch more of that. I got, like, a little under a week. I gotta do some catching up on horror movies. I haven't watched as many as I would have liked to. That's how I know October's gone way too quick. I haven't gotten enough horror movies in. But yeah.
Alright. Now, big news of the day. Yankee fan over here. World Series, game 1.
Yep, Yanks, Dodgers.
Garrett Cole versus Jack Flaherty in the mound.
Yeah, Jack Flaherty. I know that in one of the games against the Mets, I wanna say game 5, don't quote me, um, he I think he gave up, like, 8 runs in the span of 3 innings,
Yeah, he
something
got
like
dropped.
that,
I remember.
which, obviously, Pete doesn't feel likewise, but I'm hoping we have that kind of similar luck
I'm
in the
hoping
coming
he throws
days.
a no-hitter.
Um,
Praying he throws a no-hitter through 7.
so we'll have to see. I think regardless of whether you're a Yankees or Dodgers fan, or even like Pete, where you're a fan of neither, but you're rooting for one team, um, it's
Let's go
definitely
Dodgers.
it's definitely exciting. It's definitely interesting for sure. I mean, this is only the 12th time that Dodgers and Yankees have been paired up in the World Series. Definitely the first of our lifetime.
Oh, it's the first since 1980 or 81, I
Yeah.
believe.
Uh-huh. So long time coming. And the first the first time the Yankees were in the series in 15 years. Last time was 2009, coinciding with when they got the new stadium. Also, the year of my car, 2009 Honda Civic. But um, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to next Wednesday, Game 5. I mean,
Game
the whole
5.
series. I'm looking forward to. I mean, at the end
Are
of
you
the
are
day,
you going to Game 5?
I'm not probably because it's through the roof. Tickets, but I am gonna be watching it for sure.
Yeah. Uh, Garrett Cole for the Yankees. Hoping he has playoff Garrett Cole game. 7 earned runs through 3 innings.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I obviously I don't feel similarly, but at the end of the day, may the best team win,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
The
It's
marketing is through the roof.
yeah, it makes sense because like I said, this is a big game.
The best player in baseball, and then you got Shohei Ohtani on the other side.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
clearly Aaron Judge is, I think, the best player in baseball.
sure. It's just an all around great guy. I mean, I know I'm not looking at the sports angle of it, but he's very humble.
Yeah.
He's um, adopted, but unlike a lot of other people in professional sports in the professional world who are adopted, he speaks nothing but great things about his parents. He also has the All Rise Foundation, which allows underprivileged children to play baseball and sports. So that's really admirable. But yeah, let's see. I'm hoping he and Soto pull through. Um, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Okay. The Mets. Now I'll go to the Mets for a brief statement.
Okay.
Yeah. Still a little tough talk. But where they go from losing the NLCS? I think it's pretty obvious. On Soto,
Mhm.
they're number one.
That's the big question. How are you going to keep Juan Soto in the Bronx?
I think if you're if Cohen is serious about winning with the score, you're gonna pay up for Juan Soto. You have to.
Mhm.
You can't pass up on Ohtani in 2023 and then Soto 2024, but say you're serious about winning. So I think that's their number one. Their number two gonna be Corbin Burns. Point blank, they're just gonna spend. They have almost 200 million coming off the payroll. They're gonna spend that 200 million right back to fixing the roster, adding bullpen.
Yeah, Mets have a I don't know well, you just said it, but, like, they have, like I don't know the exact, like, comparisons to other teams, but they have, like, the biggest payroll in MLB, right?
They
Something like that?
did. They had the biggest payroll in baseball. Didn't work out. So they trimmed the roster. They went and they wound up making NLCS. And then now they could go right back having they have the richest owner, I think, in all of sports.
Mhm,
Definitely baseball.
mhm,
He's gonna House Steinbrenner is not gonna win a bidding war if it goes to a bidding war.
mhm. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see for sure.
We'll see.
I mean, again, I obviously, I wanna keep the one and only personally, but it's a whatever the joke drum is, that's what you
I don't even know where the button is today.
but yeah, obviously, like you said, though, just trim a there it is. All right, first try. Gotta like
First
that.
try. Press the random button.
Well, that's good for my own reference because just an FYI, I'm gonna make more dad jokes.
Yeah,
But,
we still have a lot to get to, so there's more coming.
yeah, we're only 10 minutes in. We got a lot more.
We're 10 minutes in.
Yeah, so I wanna keep as I mentioned, I won't do the joke drum again,
Sal's
but I
gonna
wanna
flip.
keep Soto. But again, from a strategic standpoint, yes, that is correct. Like, the Mets would have to, chin for him.
Yeah.
Um,
Whoever wants him is gonna have to pay up. I just think the Mets are the team most equipped to do it,
mhm.
which is because they have the most money.
So what do you think about this? Like, I was wondering, my dad, for instance, is one of these people who feels very strongly about it. Like, what's your thoughts on, like, the whole pay cap concept?
I like what baseball does where it's a luxury tax.
Mhm,
I don't like how they keep adding thresholds because of the Mets owner.
mhm.
Because the Mets spent so much, they tried to screw him and add a third threshold just to make him pay. And I do think there should be a salary cap to baseball.
Yeah, it's like a salary cap.
Yeah. I think there should be instead of the luxury tax, I think there definitely should be a salary cap.
Mhm.
Just because every other sport has a salary cap. You don't see hockey teams or football teams giving one player 70 million a year.
Yeah, even, your boy Rogers, like, is he getting paid?
He's only getting like 30, 35. Right
Mhm,
now, football, one player is making 60 million. Yeah, that's gonna increase, but the more that increases, the more it's gonna be harder to pay these other top guys 35, 40 million.
mhm.
Like, if you have the best quarterback in football, best wide receiver in football, you're paying them $90 million combined. Pretty much the Dallas Cowboys, but without the titles of the best.
Mhm. I mean,
You're paying Dak Prescott $60 million, not worth the money, but you're paying you're not gonna have money to fill out the rest of your roster with talent. You're gonna have to pick up obviously, these players are all talented, but you're not gonna be able to pick up the superstars with other superstars to pair because you have 90 million out of a $200 million salary cap
mhm.
invested in 2 players.
And then, of course, if you don't make enough money on the field, you could always be like, you know, Tom Brady or Derek Jeter and just do, like,
Yeah,
sportscasting afterwards. I think he's, like, on, like, Fox or ESPN or something
yeah,
like that, and he makes, like, $500,000,000 now.
but back to the point,
Yeah.
every sport should have a salary cap, and there should be a cap for how much a position can make.
Mhm,
So, say an outfielder, depending how crucial you are, defensively, offensively, how well you play, that's how much you should make. It shouldn't just be free money everywhere.
yeah, I would agree with that, for sure.
I think the NFL is gonna have a dilemma. where they're gonna have to start capping positions. Quarterbacks making $60 million regularly.
Mhm.
They're gonna have to start capping the position at how much a quarterback can sign for. Which is crazy, but
Yeah.
you know.
And then pretty soon they'll even be capping Nickelback. I'm sorry.
I was waiting for you to make a joke.
That's two so far.
Because Nickelback, actual position.
Yeah.
It's the slot corner.
That's
It's
true.
the third cornerback on the field.
That's true. You're right. And I was also thinking of the guy
Yeah, I know.
who sang Rockstar in San Quentin.
I know who you're thinking of. I'm just making sure that you realize that the joke works in two funny ways.
Mhm. If you're a rock fan or a football fan.
Yeah.
All right, that's 3.
That's right.
Our goal is 10, by the way.
Yeah. Now let's get to the best part of the show.
Rangers.
The New York Rangers.
Yeah. Well, best outside of last night.
Best outside of last night. So we'll do a quick recap of the game and talk about our thoughts.
Yeah, Pete, you watched some of it, so because I was working on a paper, so
I have stuff right here.
Mhm.
So final score was 3-1 Florida. Florida scored 44 seconds in. It was Anton Rondell, his 5th goal, assisted by Reinhart and Losterainen. And then 2 minutes exactly, Carter Verhaeghe scores his first of the season, assisted by Gustav Forsling,
Mhm.
slowly becoming a Ranger killer. The only Rangers goal was 2 minutes after Florida's second, so 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Lafreniere scores his 4th, assisted by Adam Fox and Panarin. Panarin's got averaging almost 2 points a game right now. 7 games played. He's got 14 points in 7 games played.
Redman.
Florida's 3rd and final goal was Sam Bennett, another Ranger killer, assisted by former New York Ranger Nico Mikkola and Dmitry Kulikov. Mikkola was a fun experiment with the Rangers a couple years ago. So the Rangers didn't play great, didn't play horrible. There was a few miscues. Ryan Linder might be the worst defender on the team by a mile.
Mhm.
Healthy or not, he just looks lost right now. Fox is easily the best. I didn't think Jacob Trouba would be one of their top 3 defensemen right now, considering how bad he played majority of last season. But he's probably their 3rd best defenseman right now. Crazy to think about.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Jake? Jake Lotan.
Yeah, Jake Lazy Lane Lotan's gonna weigh in.
Not very lazy anymore.
Yeah. Just Jake semi-lazy Lane Lotan.
Semi-lazy.
Okay, that's what. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would pretty much
4.
agree with everything you said. No divergences there.
No divergences.
Yeah, but aside from last night, so far they're having a pretty good season.
Aside from last night, they look like the best team in the NHL.
Right. I mean, we say it every year, but we want the cup. Not quite 30th anniversary, but 30th.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's like 75 games left, something around that. So of the regular season, so we got a lot of time. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they'll do this year. And so, as I mentioned before, is my dad actually had the first game on his birthday, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, little breaking news happened about an hour ago. The Rangers and Lafreniere, prior mentioned, were the only goal last night. Closing in, not finalized or fully official yet, on a 7-year extension at 7.5 per year, which is a team-friendly deal. I know 7.5 is a lot for hockey, but when you look at what other players are getting paid at his age or younger, it's a steal and it's a team-friendly deal. You have players drafted after him that are getting $8.5, $9 million a year that are worse than him currently.
Which is probably just like a seniority or tenure type of thing.
Yeah. Some of these guys had great seasons last year, got paid, and they're not playing great now.
But it's still like the same salary.
Yeah. but they're getting paid like 8-9 million. He's getting paid 7.5 when it's finalized.
Yeah, that's what kind of what we were saying earlier. Like I think, and it seems like you agree, what you get paid should be based on your input, output and
I
input.
do think 7.5 is an underpayment for a lot from year from the season and the playoff he had last year to the start of the season he has now. 4 goals in 7 games. I think he's averaging a point per game, if I'm not mistaken. But he's been easily one of their 2 best offensive players outside of Panarin currently. So 7.5 might be a little bit of an underpayment, but it's a team-friendly deal, and I think the deal is definitely gonna help them if they have to sign Shesterkin to a massive deal, which is looking more and more likely. That he's not gonna sign for anything less than 12. Which pay him. The best goalie in hockey, pay him the money he wants.
Sure. I mean, again, compared to those other sports like the NFL, MLB, I mean, that's relatively low. A lot of people forget too that we live in an age where the NFL is the dominating sport. But there were times in history where it was previously the MLB and even the NHL many months ago. So it's like a lot of people forget that.
I feel like in the last 15 years of football,
For
throughout the
sure.
90s, it was during the Yankees dynasty, baseball was the biggest sport. The 90s, that was like the peak of baseball. That's when you had most of the greatest players. You had Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Jimmy Sosa, Mariano Rivera,
Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly should be a Hall of Famer. You know that, right? He's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's criminal. That's criminal. That he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, a lot of people
It's criminal.
have been like, Paul Leon. I like Paul O'Neill, but a lot of people are like revering him, not Mattingly.
Yeah. Not at least better than Paul O'Neill.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think for him it's a lot like nothing against him personally. It's just like a lot of like the whole thing with reverence and whatnot. He's a broadcaster there, so it's just kind of like a notoriety type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're already halfway there. In the words of John Bon Jovi, we're halfway.
And it is number 6.
Yeah, we'll easily get it.
We'll easily get it. We just got 2 in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Proportionally, we're gonna get it.
So, Jake, what's your take on the Rangers not having Shesterkin signed?
Just get to it.
Get to it.
Yeah.
So, I have a very pressing question. Anything special going on in your life?
Anything special going on in my life? Same old, same old. Writing for the Ionian. Obviously I did that to get the girls. But
Trust me, he's getting a lot.
Yeah. That's 8. So I actually have a cover of an article on the front page right there. We had to interview Sunny Hostin for review. It wasn't. I'll be fair. It wasn't that bad. She was very friendly, very cordial, and so that was good. And I'm just gonna, that's part of what I'm doing. I just want to continue writing. I have a lot of ideas mapped out for the rest of the semester. I'm considering reviewing Godfather Part 2. I know Pete's been pushing for that. It's 50th anniversary coming up soon. Also considering doing
I've been pushing to see it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna try Alamo Drafthouse, and then I've been considering actually in Christmas. Ironically, Pete brought this up.
Christmas vacation.
Well, not Christmas vacation, although I've been trying to see that, but I might write an article during Christmas time why Die Hard is a Christmas movie, the movie with the unnamed tower. And so,
we're gonna get this in the next
easily. And so,
we might hit 20.
Let's go for it. Go for the gold. And so, I have a few other ideas. I might write an article in the month of November called "The Out Movies," which sounds like like an article celebrating Pride. It's not. It's actually the 2 movies with the word "out" in them. So, and they're both for specific reasons. It's not random. So,
Get Out.
That's one of them. In the because I'll actually be watching it for my English class. And I've always thought that's a really good movie done by Jordan Peele. He went from comedy to horror. I didn't love his subsequent movies, but Get Out's a really solid thriller. Um, and then also the movie Knives Out, which is aside from it's probably my favorite mystery movie that has its fifth anniversary next month. So I'll write a joint article about that. I'm also going to occasionally write about music and stuff like that. Actually, today is the premiere of a new documentary about Bruce Springsteen, which I'm really looking forward to watching. In fact, actually, all you jet heads like Pete here who know about 104.3, they have an interview with Bruce Springsteen on tonight. 104.3, if that interests any of you, at 10 o'clock. Although that's also during Game One, so I'm going to be busy at 10 o'clock. I'm going to be listening to an interview, watching Game One, and working on a humanities paper. But they're all important.
With me, probably be cool.
So it's a whole quadratic thing. So I'll probably even write about that next time. And I even told our friend Tyler I might do like an article.
Tyler Gill.
T-Dollar.
We love you, buddy.
Shout out to Tyler. I might even do like a joint article like early in November. I think it comes out the first November issue is November 7th. This will hopefully be a little soothing after Election Day. I'm going to make an article called like a great week for dad rock or something along those lines because it's like a lot going on for Bruce Springsteen. Actually, his documentary that in June was the 40th anniversary of his album "Born in the USA," which is not only, in my opinion, his best album, but one of the best rock albums of all time, and one of the best music albums of all time. He also just had a big birthday. He turned 75 recently, and as I mentioned, the documentary, and then also it's the 40th anniversary of Bryan Adams' album "Reckless," which contains such songs as "Run to You" and his most famous "Summer '69." So,
phenomenal song.
Yeah, awesome song. Song is gonna last forever. So, all right, I've lost count, but we're almost there. That's exciting. In January, I even got stuff going into next year. January, I'm going to write about this book I'm reading in education class called The Last Lecture.
Education?
Yeah, education class. I won't give away too much about that because I want to save it a little bit. But that's a really good book, and it's. I thought it would be tough to read because it's a class-mandated book. It's told in relatively simple language. Diction is not that difficult to read. It's very good, very captivating.
Diction.
It's not that difficult to read. February, new Captain America movie coming out. And then after that, I'm not 100% sure, but going into February, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But speaking of education, I'm also a member of Education Club. I helped out with a bake sale briefly the other day. You were there.
Were they hash brownies?
They were not. They were the chocolate chip, which is still pretty good. And then I didn't have any napkins or anything. I just put it in that thing. And then I'm also, like Pete, a member of the town. That's pretty cool. 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
About
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. My bad, 2 weeks ago. We went to a trip to Parker Avenue to a restaurant called Pan Tony's. It's nice.
Tyler Gill, we missed you that night.
Yeah.
Shout out McKenna for trying to fill the void.
Yeah, she did a good job, though.
She did a good job, but
she's a good Tyler
we
servant.
missed Tyler.
Yeah. Next time we go to Arthur Avenue, you better pull up, buddy.
Everybody go support Tyler Paul Gill. You're in town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pete and I are going to see it Sunday. So if you want to catch us podcast celebrities, go over there.
Tyler, we just miss you, Tyler.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you all day.
Yeah.
It's a weird sight. My day hasn't been
yes.
I have not hung out with him.
Not the same. I did see him a little earlier today, but not entirely for recreation. We had our Outside's mock tour. So in the unlikely event that the e-board member is watching, be a nice grader. I'm kidding, but although that. And so yeah, that was good. Again, as I mentioned to Pete earlier, it's like a road test. Like you think seriously, like you think you did good. You don't think you had any mistakes, but you're still nervous with those results.
You. I know you're dying to. Do you want to answer the name of the question from before? Name of the plaza. You just can't curse enough.
Nakatomi, what's up? That earns 2.
Anyway, that earns 4. I was like,
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Anyway, yes. In all actuality, the tower is from Die Hard is Nakatomi Plaza. Fun fact: I don't know if that's what it was at the time, but now that's where 20th Century Fox holds their LA offices.
I mean,
My cousin is actually in the movie business. She did PR mostly with Paramount actually, but she took a trip there, sent some pictures and stuff. It was really cool, and she's also a big fan of Die Hard. That was
is this the
Jessica
cousin
Rabbit.
that knows Nev Campbell?
Well, she doesn't know Nev Campbell, but my cousin Tara, shout out, who also just had a new baby girl, so congratulations to her. She we got to see the last Scream movie, Scream 6, at the critic screening a week before it came out, which is a really cool experience. I had never done that before, and it's even better with a movie like Scream. That's a movie more so than like action movies where you have to avoid spoilers because otherwise the movie's ruined for you.
Yeah.
And also cool. I had noticed. I said to Tara, I'm like, "There's a woman that looks familiar." Afterwards, like I said that to her afterwards. She's like, "Oh yeah, that was Drew Barrymore." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, apparently Drew Barrymore was a few rows behind us in the theater." So that was pretty cool. Having Casey Becker in the flesh.
Stephen Casey.
Yeah, rest in peace, guys. But yeah, that was a really cool event. We also did the same thing.
Sure they put a Sure they put
God, good old Randy.
Good old Randy.
That was the only thing I didn't like about Scream 2, killing him off.
They messed up on that one.
Yeah, they should have. I mean, like they tried to save it a little in Scream 3 by doing like a VHS tape of him, which was kind of
It wasn't
cool.
the same.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You need Randy.
Yeah, you need Randy.
Uniques.
Bring him back. Like everyone's saying, bring Stu Macher back. Bring him back. But
Say
anyway,
he faked his death this whole time.
yeah, I personally, I know fan theories are fun. I think that would be really dumb if they did that in all seriousness. Like
It wouldn't be done with Stu, but it would be done with Randy.
I think it'd be dumb with either, but we can agree to disagree.
I just think that was funny.
He was great. It's a Scream, baby.
Your mother was no Sharon Stone.
And then I'm feeling a little woozy here.
This movie is my favorite horror movie ever.
It's my number 2 after Halloween.
It might be my number 1.
I will say this, though. I do think the movie, not just a horror movie, it has the best opening scene ever.
Yeah, it does.
I know who I'm looking at. Like that's it. Like before you go into the movie knowing nothing else, that's genuinely terrifying stuff.
Yeah.
And also, again,
wrong number.
Again, great stuff with Scream. As I mentioned earlier, Nev Campbell as Sydney, awesome final girl, and unlike Laurie Strode, she's actually been in one of the Scream movies. She's going to be in the upcoming 7th one.
I know Gail Weathers is coming back again.
Yeah, actually, that's the thing about Courtney Cox too. She actually has kind of been even more durable than Nev Campbell because she was even in the 6th one. Yeah, poor Dewdrop.
That was a hard watch.
That was
a sad scene.
I don't want to get too deep into. We already did Dewey, so screw it. I guess we might as well spoil Scream 5. If you haven't seen Scream 5, skip like 2 minutes ahead.
Yeah.
So the thing with that movie that was tough. Like I think I don't mind the idea of killing Dewey. I think honestly that was long overdue because it's just long overdue after all the stuff he went through. But the way they did it, like because he looked at his phone and then you find out too that this like 5'2" high school girl killed him. Like that to me, the execution of his execution didn't sit totally right with me.
Yeah. I just felt you. Yeah, that deserved it.
Yeah. But other than that, though, Scream 5 is still very good. All the sequels, it's a good franchise. Like I said, Scream, in my opinion, is like probably the most consistent horror movie franchise. Like even the weakest one, which is the 3rd one, is still a solid watch.
Yep.
For sure. And again, Scream is just like so innovative. Like I know they they copied it a little in the movies, but the original Scream, again, spoiler, but come on, the movie's 25 years old. Having two killers at the end, I mean, that's awesome. Super innovative and different. Like the first time I saw that, my jaw literally dropped. Holy, holy! I didn't curse. And so, um,
I would have rather you've cursed than go with holy cannoli on that.
did you hear about Holy Cannoli's brother, Obi-Wan?
Jay just hit the button again.
Yeah, we gotta be like at 20 at this point.
We might be at 40.
Yeah, 40 exactly. But yeah, Scream 7, I'm definitely looking forward to. I know there was a I don't want to get through all of it because it's like controversial, but there were some difficulties with Melissa Barrera in that movie. In that movie, like she was let go for some reasons. She actually, though, I think she's had somewhat of a decent career afterwards. She was in a horror movie called Abigail last year. No, it was this past year. Excuse me. Pretty good, like a vampire horror movie, kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn, girl,
Yeah.
instead. It was a good movie. She also came out in this movie that came out like today or like sometime this month called Your Monster. I checked that out. And then obviously the other people are going to be Jenna Ortega is going to be in the next season of Wednesday, which I think is supposed to come out.
That's why she's on it.
Yeah, which makes me wonder if she wasn't able to get help, and then afterwards they're like, "We don't want to do it with this Melissa Barrera," and they made up a reason for firing her. I don't know, but at least we get Neve Campbell back, who, even though her story kind of ended well with the fifth screen, I can't believe about seeing Sydney again, like awesome final girl. She kicks butt. Again,
Yeah.
not cursing. Like just she subverts the whole horror genre. Like in the first game, oh, you really want me to go running and screaming like some girl with big blank. And then again in the fifth scream, going around the house, guns a blazing. Like it's great. Great.
Yeah.
She's actually in this show too that's on Netflix that I want to
Neve Campbell?
yeah, that I've seen the first two seasons. The third one just came out called The Wicked Lawyer. Good show if you haven't seen it. I definitely want to watch the third season of that.
I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, Jake says it's good.
It's a good show. It's a good show. Like basically, the premise is that this guy named Nick, he's called the Wicked Lawyer because he works out of his car. He used to work out of his car, which is called like a Lincoln, named like Serato or something like that. And it's her dynamic shows a little weird. He's where he's still in close contact with both of his ex-wives. She's the first one and the mother of their daughter. But she's also a lawyer herself. It's a good drama show, and of the first two seasons, I'm guessing the third will follow a similar format. There's like some minor cases, but there's one like main case that comes through the whole season that's like the main plot line.
Yeah.
So it's good checking out for sure. Worthwhile.
Thank you, Jake Lotan. Movie extraordinaire.
Also, The Penguin, good show too. I gotta watch there's episodes coming out this weekend. I gotta watch episode 5 before that comes out.
I gotta watch episode 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Definitely get to that. It's like I know you like Sopranos. I think you'd like this show too because I wouldn't say it's quite as comedic as The Sopranos or as Profane, but there's like definitely there's a lot of mob elements like the Penguin, or is it just mainly call him the show Oz? He's like creating like sort of a gang warfare between these two Italian mobs, and it's supposed to be like it's an interesting show of intrigue. And Colin Farrell, again, hardly even tell it's him. He's really great in the show, so it's worth checking out.
What's up? I'm gonna call you 3 o'clock tonight. What's up? Better answer the phone.
There's a 50-50 shot I'll be up. I stay up. I always tell people I don't stay out late. I stay up late.
Yeah, if I call you at 2 o'clock in the morning, better answer. What's up? I would do anything for you to answer the phone.
Try it. Like I said, there's a 50-50 shot I'll be awake. And then Big Ron just comes barging the phone. What are you doing on the phone?
Ronnie.
Ron. And my mom. I already shouted out my dad. So shout out to my mom.
Shout out to my parents too. Love you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You excited for game one?
I am. Again, I've got a lot going on tonight, but I have been on in the background while I'm working on my paper. You know, we'll see how it goes. And this is actually going to be the first World Series that I've paid attention to because, like a lot of people, um, I would only watch if the Yankees
Yeah.
were in it. And it was kind of like the whole Patriots thing in the Super Bowl, like a little tired of the so yeah, and no, I don't teach an exception to the rule because I'm guessing you're watching later tonight too. No?
No.
Okay, I'm wrong. Um,
I would only watch it if the Mets are in it.
that's
I haven't watched World Series
that's
like in full since 2015.
that's true, but I figured just because of your disdain for Bronx Bombers that you just watched to see the
No, as much as
movies.
I hate the Yankees, I will be keeping tabs on the games.
Okay, that's fair.
But I won't be watching them in full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though they got future Met Juan Soto.
Mm-hmm. So,
by the way, sorry to cut you off, Jake. Official, last year's deal, 7 years, 7.45.
It just came through.
Came through about 10 minutes ago.
Awesome.
Official.
So keeping him till 2030s.
Hey, it'll end when he's 30. 23, 22, 23, and when he's 30.
Oh, he's only a couple years older than us.
Yeah. He was
I could be
drafted.
doing that.
Yeah. It'll give him one more chance for one more payday at age 30. Like during because a lot of hockey players, their prime is like 24, 25 to like 33, 34.
Yeah, because it's tough between hockey and football, which is the more physically taxing sport. But either way, it does take a toll on you. So I can understand why
So hockey.
Not everyone's Tom Brady, you know.
But hockey players or hockey in general, they come up so young sometimes. Like they come up 18, 19, 20 years old. So they're still growing up and maturing as they're trying to balance being a full-time athlete. So it takes them a little while to hit their prime. So him hitting his prime and getting a 7-year deal is perfect for the future of the Rangers because now it really does open up capital to have Igor under contract.
Sure, and it's also a nice, just a nice parents blanket, keeping him for that time period.
He's arguably going to be your best player.
Yeah.
Once Aaron's gone, and they're all gone.
Bread man. Yeah, sure.
Damn, Jake, you look beautiful right
now. Yeah, sorry, everyone. Some of the pre-show session is seeped in now. But
another last little bit before we wrap up, I just realized so today is the 30th anniversary of Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. Ball goes to Bill Buckner's legs.
Yeah, creating the saying, Bucknered it. Which is a shame, too. One bad move.
Fun fact for that one, my grandmother's at that game. My grandmother was at that game almost 40 years ago.
That's really cool. Their claim to fame. That's probably something you tell like every Thanksgiving or Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about it together. We talk about when we talk about the Mets.
Sure. Why wouldn't you? That's one of the most famous games in baseball. You're gonna talk about that.
Mm-hmm. That's really it. Any last words, Jake?
Ultimately, just thank you for having me here, and it's always a pleasure to be here with my boy Pete. I love you, my man. And then, actually, yes, I did forget. There is one other thing I wanted to say.
That was the funniest one out of the 5. How many times you do was up? 6 cents?
At least.
Mm-hmm. That was the best one.
Saving the best for last. That was my one. That was my thinking.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week. Maybe it'll be the two of us again. Never know. You could just
could talk about seeing Halloween the night before.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. We are out.
I think that was a